Selma's getting lots of attention. It is a phenomenal film opening across the country on Friday. I had a chance to sit down with Ava DuVernay, a bad sister who directed this masterpiece. Your path has been a non-traditional one. Mm-hmm. You were doing something else in movies and said, I can do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just an example, if it can be anything, of that it's okay to change in the middle. You know, I had had an idea to do something different. You know, what I was doing as a publicist made good money. It was a cool job, but there was a desire that was put in my heart, and I think when we have those desires, they are definitely gifts to us, and they're gifts from above, and if you can pursue it, you should. And yeah, it's been only 5 years since making films. I didn't go to film school. I'm all self-taught. I learned from DVD commentaries on DVDs and Q&As and books, and you know, it all came together.
Action.
You make this movie for $20 million, and you're like, okay, I've done movies with a little less.
Yes.
And so I'm
$2 and a paper clip and a gum wrapper. Well, I mean, that's the spirit of black folk. You know what I mean? Making something out of nothing, making beauty where there is no beauty, and finding the joy in doing it. And so certainly, I mean, I think, you know, $20 million to someone like me is huge, and $20 million to other filmmakers wasn't enough. But also, I mean, I won't be coy. I had never worked with that amount of money. So for me to imagine that $20 million wasn't enough to tell a story, I couldn't fathom why that would be the case. Now, it's fair that there's some filmmakers who've worked at bigger amounts that really know how hard it was going to be, and it was hard. But it was about me stepping into the moment, stepping into the opportunity, and as Oprah says, you know, making the most of the moment. And so we did that.
Recite the Constitution's preamble. You know what a preamble is?
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union.
How many county judges in Alabama?
67.
Name them.
When you take on this project, you sign on to it. What is that process of looking at it, studying it, thinking about it, all the different elements and pieces? What is your process in doing that?
Well, the job of the director is to bring it all together. And really, a director is applying their taste to it. It's really, you know, that person's prerogative as to how the light is lit, if the couch is green or purple, you know, how fast they're walking when they're walking down the street, you know, how they're saying and communicating what they're saying. All of that becomes a tapestry. And my job is to try to bring that together in the way that satisfies me, with the hopes that it satisfies other people when they see it. This was a huge job. Usually I'm doing 2 people talking in rooms, 2 black folks talking in rooms. This was horses and tear gas and 500 extras and speeches and marches and firearms and all kinds of things, and a historical figure that means so much to us. And so, so for me, it was about just staying centered. What do I like in this moment? What looks good to me in this moment? What would I be interested in this moment? And I followed that, and that allowed me to get to a place where, before I knew it, the film was made.
They are in our bloodstream, pumping our hearts every second. They've prepared you. You are already prepared.
And when you think about Ella Baker, when you think about Fannie Lou Hamer, Diane Nash, I mean, all these different figures, they oftentimes are not even a part of this story. That also was critically important to you.
Well, I mean, in the history books, they've been relegated to the margins. Women were vital. They were a centrifugal force to everything that was happening during the civil rights movement. It is, I think, criminal that they've been left out of so many, you know, major texts and major creative illustrations of the time. So it just felt like righting a wrong in some way. I mean, women were there. I'm a woman filmmaker. There's no way I'm making this film without the ability to make sure that we are in our rightful place.
I'd rather people be upset and hate me than be bleeding or dead.
How does it make you feel to sort of finish doing this movie, you're seeing it, but then also turn the television on and seeing what's actually happening in real time.
You know, we know that these things are ambient. It's always around, you know, race relations that are disproportionate in this country, these incidences that are so tragic and so toxic. And so the fact that a piece of art that we've made can meet this cultural moment that might be able to spark some conversation, some idea, some new notion of how to do things, because you're watching tactics that have been relegated to history books, you know? And there was a great strategy during that time, tactics, ideas on how to move things forward. So hopefully Selma can add something to that. That's my biggest hope.
We will not wait any longer. Give us the vote. That's right. No more. We're not asking, we're demanding. Give us the vote.
Was there ever that moment where you literally said, okay, this is like really major?
Yes.
That I'm in the middle of recreating what was real American history.
Yes, I'll tell you quickly, it happened 3 times. Andrew Young came to our rehearsal space before we started. He walked in, Andre Holland, who's the actor who plays Andrew Young. I mean, we were stunned. He took the time to talk to us right before we started to shoot. One day we were at Wheat Street Church in Atlanta, which we doubled for Brown Chapel in Selma, and we were in the middle, just finishing a scene, and everyone just looks at me like they're stunned, and I look behind me to see what they're looking at. The real John Lewis walks in. We didn't even know he was visiting the set that day. He had just heard we were in the area because we were in his district, and he walked in, and you know, tears and sobs, and everyone is emotional. And then the final was C.T. Vivian, who actually was there the day we shot Bloody Sunday, in a chair, in a folding chair on the bridge, watching us shoot it. I mean, we looked over and we saw him in all his elegance and his dignity, 80-some years old, and he said to me, "Well done, sister." And so these are the moments these are the real people that stood side by side with Dr. King, and for them to say, this feels right, is all we needed.
There's no doubt. I think America will be blown away.
You supported the films before anyone else. I will follow Middle of Nowhere. Put me on your radio show. Put me on whatever you, Twitter, radio, TV. I think you fly fighter planes. I don't know. You do a little bit of everything, but you always make sure that you support artists, independent artists, certainly for me, and I just want to really thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you,
Good luck
Roland.
with it.
For all those people who challenge the historical accuracy of this film, when she said, "I'm not interested in making a white savior movie," I say, brava, sister.
Absolutely.
Brava.
Absolutely.
A quality film.
Very moving piece.
Yes, very
Very,
moving.
very moving.
Cool. Folks, Pound, first of all, we appreciate it. Up next, we got